Jai Hind student, my name is Pardeep and I am working as an assistant professor in IT department in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. So today we will discuss the subject database management system whose code is KOE067. So today we will discuss database DBMS versus flat file system. DBMS stands for database management system. So first let's discuss file system. So before the DBMS we use the flat file system. So flat file system is used before DBMS. We use flat file system before DBMS. So how flat file system will work or who will manage? So see, in flat file system, database files manages by user using the operating system. So this OS stands for operating system. So in flat file system, database files are managed by the user using operating system. So if database file size is in KB or MB, means if database is small, then flat file system can be used. Okay, so if database file size in KB or MB, we are going to use flat file system. We are going to use flat file system. But if the database size is in GB or TB, means if database is large, then flat file system fail. Then flat file system fail. Okay, to manage the database, then database can be used. So if the size is in GB or TB, GB stands for gigabyte and TB stands for terabyte, then flat file system failed. Then flat file system failed. We are not going to use flat file system. Okay, then we use the DBMS. DBMS stands for database management system. Okay, next let's see the limitations of flat file system. So there are a few limitations of flat file system. Using flat file system, it is too complex to access the data from set of database files. Using flat file system, it is too complex. So it is too complex to access data from set of database file using the flat file system. Next, more input output cost, or this is also known as access cost to access the requested data. Next, using flat file system, there is less degree of concurrency. Next, using flat file system, it is difficult to implement different level of access control. So these are the limitations of flat file system. Now compare the flat file and database file system management system. Now there are advantages of DBMS over the flat file system. So what are those? See, limitation of flat file system is using flat file system, it is too complex to access data from set of database file because user need to know the storage detail in order to access the files. So it is too complex. And what is the reason that user need to know the storage detail in order to access the files? Okay, but what are the advantages of DBMS? User should able to access the data without knowing the storage detail. There is no need to know the storage detail, means hiding the physical detail to the external user using data independence concept. So in DBMS there is a concept of independence, data independence concept. So because of this it is less complex as compared to flat file system in DBMS. Next limitation of flat file system, that more input output cost or access cost to access the requested data. And what are the advantages of DBMS? That input output cost reduce using indexing. Using indexing, input output cost reduce. Next limitation of flat file system is that using flat file system, simultaneous access of same data by two or more user may leads inconsistent result, means concurrency is not possible, means concurrency is not possible, concurrency is not possible in DBMS. In DBMS, in flat file system, in DBMS, what are the advantages? In DBMS, various methods and protocols are used to avoid inconsistency because of concurrent execution, and large number of users can use database simultaneously. So there are various types of methods and protocols we use to avoid the inconsistency in DBMS. Next, limitation of flat file system. Using flat file system, it is difficult to implement different level of access control, means security. Okay, it is very difficult to implement different level of access control, means security. That flat file system is less secure. So how DBMS overcome this limitation of flat file system? So in DBMS there is a concept of views. There is a concept of views, or you can say virtual table. Because of view, same data can be viewed, can be differently by different user. Same data, because of view, same data can be viewed differently by different users. So for example, let's see the example. Suppose there is a database of student. Okay, there is database of student. In student view, there is roll number of the student, name of the student, and percentage of attendance. in student view. Okay, but there is administrator view, or you can say teacher view. Teacher view. In teacher view, there is roll number, name, and there is option of modify the attendance. So modification of attendance is there in teachers view. Okay, there is option of modification of attendance. The student cannot have access to these fields. Student have access only roll number, name, and attendance percentage. How many attendance he or she has secured. But there is no option of modification attendance option in student. But in teacher view, it is available. In student view, it is not available. But in teacher's view, it is available. So this is the concept of view or virtual table in DBMS. Next is the database administrator, DBA. A database administrator is a person or a group of in charge of implementing DBMS in an organization. So it is a person or group in charge of implementing DBMS in an organization. The DBA job requires a high degree of technical expertise. So it requires high degree of technical expertise. A DBA consists of a team of people rather than just one person. It is very important. So a DBA requires a team of people. It is not just one single person. It requires team of people. Now, what are the role and duties of DBA? So first duty is decide hardware. So DBA, they decide economical hardware based on cost, performance, and efficiency of hardware and best suit organizations. It is a hardware which is interface between end user and database. So it is the interface between end user and database, and it is efficient, economical, and performance is good and efficient. Okay. Next duty is it manages data integrity and security. So data integrity need to be checked and managed accurately as it protect and restrict data from unauthorized use. It protect data from unauthorized use. Restrict and protect data from unauthorized use. DBA eyes on relationship within data to maintain the data integrity. Okay, it maintain the data integrity. Next is database design. DBA is held responsible and accountable for logical, physical design, external model design, integrity, and security control. So it is responsible for logical design, physical design, external model design, integrity, and security control. Next is database implementation. DBA implement D.B.M.S and check database loading at time of its implementation. Okay, so DBA implements the D.B.M.S and checks database loading at time of its implementation. Next is query processing performance. DBA enhanced query processing by improving their speed, performance and accuracy. Okay, it improves speed, performance and accuracy. Next responsibility is tuning database performance. If user is not able to get data speedily and accurately, then it may lose organization business. So by tuning SQL commands, DBA can enhance performance of database. So it enhances the performance of database by tuning the SQL command. Next is the database instance. So what do you mean by database instance? So data which is stored in the database at a particular moment of time is called as an instance of the database. An instance is also called a current state or database state. Suppose I have one database table, suppose student. So a roll number, name and admission. Okay, admission date. Okay, now suppose admission are going on. Okay, so roll number is 1, name is A, admission date is suppose 20 Feb 2022. Now roll number 2, name is B and admission is 20 February 2022. Okay, at this moment it is known as database instance. Next day, suppose roll number is 3, name is C and 22/2 and 2022. Okay, this is another instance. So at a particular moment of time, it is known as instance. So these are the instance of the database at a particular instance. Next, database schema. So a database schema is the skeleton structure of the database. It represents the logical view of the entire database. The overall design of a database is called schema. A schema contains schema object like table, foreign key, primary key, view, columns, data types, stored procedure, etc. A database schema can be represented by using the visual diagrams. That diagram shows the database object and relationship with each other. In simple language, suppose I have a relation R and these relation are having many attributes. Suppose name, or you can say roll number or branch. So this skeleton structure of the database, it is known as schema. It is the schema of this database. Okay, this contain the attribute. What are the attribute a relation contain? These are the schema. Thank you. Jai Hind.